Alright, good afternoon, Arkansas. This is Assistant Chief Forecaster Kevin back here once again. I'm here to give you guys kind of a video blog talking about last night's severe weather. And I'm going to talk to you guys about the Friday time frame here. I know it's been kind of gaining some traction over the last 24 to 48 hours here. But first and foremost, I know I got a good amount of people on here. I want to say thank you guys for being here last night. Thank you guys for trusting us as your #1 weather source from last night here. We had a lot of people follow us, a lot of people like us during the last 24 hours here. We want to say thank you guys for all of it. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys here. So I'm going to look at tomorrow. I'm going to look at Friday's potential first. I'm going to talk about it first, stuff like that. And a lot of people are going to be kind of uncertain about it. I was uncertain about it too, but we do have a good amount of computer model ingredients. So we'll talk about that here in a bit. But I want to talk to you guys about this first. So basically what you're looking at here is what's called the rotation track, or the what's called the MRMS model. And basically is going to show us what happened last night. Okay, so right now we're looking at this. Okay, and basically I think you've all saw this today, probably the first thing this morning. National Service Alert talked about it. But we do have, based off what I've seen so far from their Twitter, we do have a confirmed EF1 tornado that was up here in Logan County last night. So that makes it the first confirmed tornado of 2022. It was a high-end EF1 tornado up here in Logan County. They are investigating the tornado that was down here in southeastern Arkansas last night here. Okay, so bear with me for just a minute. You're going to see that here in just a second. Okay, and you're going to see what happens. Okay, so this was right around yesterday afternoon. There's that first cell that went through up there in Logan County, went all the way to Missouri, and then last night, I'm going to pause this for just a second, and there's the tornado that went through southeastern Arkansas last night. Okay, this is why we're up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning giving you guys live updates. Okay, so they're investigating both at this point. This one has been confirmed as a high-end EF1 tornado. Okay, so this one down in here, I wouldn't be shocked if that same rating was occurred. If you guys have any damage or anything like that, please let me know down here. I'm hoping you guys are okay. This one came through at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning down here in southeastern Arkansas, and you had this one yesterday evening, the powerhouse supercell that me and Derek were on yesterday that went through Logan County, and it hit the town of Sage up here in north central Arkansas, which is just east of Melbourne, Arkansas, and then it made a track just missing the Mountain View area here, and then continue up into northeastern Arkansas and southeastern Missouri here. So this is what we're looking at, guys. Okay, so 7-4, you may have seen this all before, but that was it right in here. Okay, so that's the tornado that went through. It started way over here, went through Logan County, went all the way up through Randolph County here, and through Pocahontas, and then up into southeastern Missouri. And then you had the one down here that started in Ouachita County, and that went way into southeastern Arkansas through Arkansas County, and then made its way into northwestern Mississippi here. So this one has already been confirmed as an EF1. This one has yet to be confirmed as of yet. We'll let you guys know if we hear anything in terms of that, guys. So, as said before, I do appreciate y'all for being here. I know it was kind of a rocky evening yesterday evening. I told you guys for the last couple of days that Sunday was going to have big severe weather potential here in Arkansas. And unfortunately, that's what happened. Right now, I haven't heard anything in terms of major injuries or anything like that. I did hear about that one injury report up here with this tornado in Logan County. But other than that, I haven't heard anything significant. So if we hear any information regarding this, we'll let you guys know. But I kind of wanted to recap on this, guys. Definitely an active day across Arkansas yesterday here. So I think you guys have heard enough about severe weather. I think you guys have heard enough about tornadoes. Let's talk about something different. Let's talk about the potential of winter weather as we get towards Friday here. So I told you guys a couple of days ago that winter wasn't done yet. We haven't raised a white flag on winter yet. We haven't raised a white flag on winter weather potential or the cold air. It can happen in March. Alright, so we're going to look at the GFS, we're going to look at the Euro, and I'm going to look at Canadian mark, okay? Now, this is the GFS, okay? And basically what happens is, you guys know, it's much colder today than it was yesterday. Yesterday we were in the 70s, low 80s. Today we're in the 40s and 50s. So we got the reality check last night with the cold front, alright? Now, what's going to happen is, GFS wants to throw some rainfall as we move towards tomorrow and the Wednesday here. We're not expecting much with that, but what's going to happen is you're going to have another surge of cold air that's going to come down as we get towards Thursday and the Friday time frame here, okay? Now, with that being said, that's what's going to set the place for the potential of maybe some winter weather as we get towards that Friday time frame here. Okay, so you go with GFS, look what happens. You see your colder air coming in. All right, your cold air is coming in from the northwest, overrunning moisture, cold air in place. You do have the potential of seeing snowfall. Okay, now if you go with the GFS and you go with the Euro, it's a pretty decent snowfall event for us here in Arkansas. Okay, so Katie, thank you for that. 3 confirmed injuries in the Sage area, possibly 2 more. Okay, so thank you, Katie, for that. I said before, I've been kind of resting, so I haven't heard any more information regarding that. I hope those guys will end up being okay here. But and I was saying before, this is what we got for the snow potential as we get towards Friday here. So you can see what it does. Cold air is coming in, moisture overrunning that cold air, and that's where you're seeing the potential of snowfall here. Okay, and this gets out of here. This is happening Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and it's out of here by Saturday morning. Okay, but the bigger story is look at the cold air that's coming in behind it. Okay, so let's take a look at that real quickly here. We'll show you guys temperatures real fast. And then I'm going to, as soon as I'm done with the models, I'm going to try to jump on some questions that you guys might have. And then I'm going to end this live stream here. I know it wasn't too big of a live for today. I just want to kind of give you guys a little bit of an insight of what we're looking at down the road. Okay, so if you go with the 12Z GFS, let me go over to this one. It's the 18Z coming in at this point. Okay, you can see the cold air coming in. So this is Thursday and Friday. Look at the temperatures, 40s and 50s, front of boundary moving in. Okay, your temperatures on Friday are going to struggle if you go with the GFS here. Okay, so 30s northwest, 50s and 60s across southeastern Arkansas, and there could even be a severe weather threat down here in Mississippi and Alabama as we get towards Friday and into Saturday. We'll have to watch that closely, but you see what happens. That colder air is filtering down into Arkansas. That's where you're leading to the potential of seeing snowfall across the area here. And then temperatures on Saturday, if you go with the GFS, are going to struggle. So this is what I'm saying. Winter's not done just yet, okay? We're still in early March. We can get this. We've had our classic, you guys know we've had our classic early March snow events here in the natural state, okay? And you look at daytime highs on Saturday, if you go with GFS, highs in the 30s, low 40s across southern Arkansas here. So that's something that we're going to have to watch. Accumulations right now still early to be determined at this point. If you go with GFS, just kind of looking at it, at this point you were to go with GFS to talk about accumulations. Let's see here. So GFS wants to throw out about 1 to 3 inches of snow across the area. Okay, so this would help everybody that's been saying we need to snow and stuff like that and everything else. Everyone that's been wanting snow, this would be it. Okay, so this is not anything abnormal. You guys know, first thing in March, we always get our first our 1 or 2 snow events the first thing in March. We've had that back before in 2008. We've had it in previous years here. So this is not something that's abnormal. It can happen in early March here, but as I said before, guys, snow accumulations or anything like that is way too early to be determined at this point. Okay. One thing I want to know is there's cold air coming in. There's a system to play with the cold air, and that's where you can see the potential winter weather as we get towards that Friday and the Saturday time frame here. Okay, so let's talk about the Euro for just a bit. Okay, so the Euro's more the same. You guys, by the way, I had some reports of some sleet across much of northwestern Arkansas and even in central Arkansas this morning. So that was interesting to know here. But you can see by the time we get towards the tomorrow, Wednesday time frame here, there's a system to be working with. Not a lot of cold air with it, but there's going to be a good amount of rainfall, and you guys need it down there in southern and southeastern Arkansas. But that gets out of here, okay? Now, I said before, you've got the cold air moving in as we get towards Wednesday and Thursday. That front boundary is going to be moving in by this point. Alright, and look what happens by the time we get towards Friday afternoon, Friday evening, okay? There's your system in question here. Alright, so let's take a look at this real quick. Okay, so there's your system in question down here in northeastern Texas. Cold air is filtering in, moisture returning over that cold air, and that's where you're seeing the potential of snowfall across the board, okay? And that does include southeast Arkansas, by the way. So, if you go with the GFS, you go with the Euro, that's where you can see the potential snow across the area. Alright, so there's good computer model agreement right now. There's GFS, there's Euro. The Canadian even has it as well. I'll show you guys Canadian in just a bit. But there's a good amount of computer model agreements on this Friday and Saturday time frame where we could see some snowfall across Arkansas here. Accumulations, impacts, etc. Still a little bit too early to talk about. However, we will keep you guys updated throughout this week. We'll have graphics and stuff like that. You know, your 7-day forecast is going to be coming out this evening as well. We'll have you guys informed on all that potential here, okay? So, what about South Arkansas? Same thing down there in South Arkansas. It impacts the majority of the state because you have a perfect setup. You got the cold air moving in, and you got moisture overriding that cold air, and that's where you're getting the snowfall potential, right? So, this is what we're looking at here, okay? And those, I know I have about 300 people on this live stream. Tag your friends, tag your family members, stuff like that, so they're not blindsided, and they know what we could potentially be looking at by the end of the week here. So we go from severe weather on Sunday to potential see winter weather on Friday here. Anybody else tired of the Arkansas roller coaster here? But the bigger story, as I said before, that colder air is going to be coming down as we get towards Saturday. It's going to be a reality check once again for us here in Arkansas. That colder air is going to be filtering down by the time we get towards that Saturday time frame here. So before, winter is not finished yet. Winter's not done. It's just like somebody in an argument coming in and saying, okay, let me I got to say one more thing. I got to say one more thing. I got to say one more thing. That's how winter is right now. It is not finished yet, okay? So we were in fall, spring. Now we're back to winter. And once this one's done, then we're going to get into the warmer air and stuff like that. And also, to be honest with you guys, probably towards the end of this month and into early April, I wouldn't be shocked. Once again, we see an uptick of severe weather across the board here. So that's basically it. All right. That's the European model. Let's talk about accumulations here just for the sport of it. But as I said before, don't take these accumulation maps to stone right now. Okay. So let's see this real quickly. Okay. All right. Let's talk about accumulations here. This is the euro. All right. So the euro, more the same. Okay. Even the euro is being a little bit more bigger than the GFS here with the accumulations 2 to 4 inches across the board. I somewhat support this versus South Arkansas because you're going to have some warm air intrusions down here in southern Arkansas, so you'll see more of a rain snow mix down there. But majority of the area, 2 to 4 inches of snow across the board if you go with the European model. Okay. Now I want to say something before this takes off. Everything gets viral about the snowfall potential. Okay. The ground temperatures are really warm. All right. We've had a lot of 70 and 80 degree days across the board. The ground temperatures are pretty decently warm across the state. Okay. Now, the one thing that's going to be helping us this week is we're not going to be super warm. We need this cold air to get here first, kind of settle in for about a day or so before we get to snowfall potential. And that looks to happen because the frontal boundary comes in. Let's take a look at temperatures real quick. Okay. The frontal boundary comes in by the time we get towards that Thursday and the Friday time frame. Back this up a little bit. All right. And you can see what happens. Okay. So the frontal boundary comes in late Thursday and the Friday. Okay. Look at Southeast Arkansas, by the way, pre-snowfall event. You got the 70s down here. You could actually see if the euro would have verified, you could actually see the potential of some thunderstorms down there in southeastern Arkansas as we get towards Friday afternoon, Friday evening. Still awaits to be seen on that, okay? But that moves away pretty quickly, all right? And then temperatures, let's go back to temperatures real quick, okay? So these are temperatures, all right? So you can see the temperatures coming in by the time we get towards that time frame. So Friday, temperatures in the 70s down there in southeast Arkansas, rapidly falling into the 30s. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty strong cold front moving into Arkansas as we get towards Friday and Saturday. Severe weather right now looks very unlikely across the board. I think we're not going to have a significant moisture return like we saw with this event on Sunday. So severe weather right now doesn't look too likely here. I'm favoring more winter weather versus severe weather because I think our system is going to lag behind the frontal boundary, meaning that the system's going to take advantage of the cold air versus the warm air in place across the board here, and that's where you can see the potential of seeing possibly some snowfall by the time we get towards your Saturday time frame. And then next Saturday, if you were to go with the euro, once again, 30s across the board, low 40s across southern Arkansas here. So this is one model that I particularly like to look at, and this is what's called the NBM, or the national blend of all the computer model guidance right now. And even then, look at that, 40s across southern Arkansas, 30s across the board here across northern Arkansas. Let's take a look at potential accumulations here, okay? You were to go with NBM right now, not as much, but still a good amount of accumulation, especially up here in northern Arkansas and higher elevations. But I still think we could see a pretty decent event across the board here as we get towards that Friday and Saturday time frame. It just depends on how fast that cold air is coming in and if the system can lag behind it, all right? But right now, there's a good amount of model agreement on that potential as we get towards that Friday and Saturday time frame. As you guys can see here, this is the Canadian model. Okay, Canadian model, we like to use for winter weather as well. Doing an excellent job. Northern Arkansas, Central Arkansas, Southern Arkansas, you're on rain. If you go with the Canadian model, and then it's out of here by Saturday morning. All that colder air coming in, guys. So, as I said before, winter is not done just yet. Okay, don't go planning don't go planning yet. Don't do anything you would normally do in the spring just yet. Okay, we got one more blast of cold air coming down here. Winter is not done just now. Okay, now Michael, I see your question. Okay, so this is like a significant winter storm for Arkansas. Right now, we're too early to determine. Okay, I know we're about what's based Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're about 3 to 4 days out, right? Okay, so things can change between now and then. Okay, so we're about 3 to 4 days out. We're watching the system very closely. We're going to keep you guys informed on that potential. But right now, it's a wait and see. A winter weather event versus a winter storm at this point. If that changes, you guys know we'll be here first. We'll keep you guys informed on all that. Kim, I do appreciate that comment. We were on top of it last night. Noah, he was on top of it last night, guys. That's why we're here. That's why we keep you guys informed here. We would not be here if it wasn't for all of you guys. And we hit 140,000 followers last night, guys. So I appreciate each and every single one of y'all for being here. Thank y'all for tagging y'all friends and family as well. That way they can stay informed on this. Like I said before, this is not going to be I say this now, it's not going to be a significant event or anything like that. It's not time to go get the milk and bread just yet. But as I said before, we're going to watch it closely because I think you're going to have a good amount of cold air in place. You're going to have the cold air coming in, system taking advantage of that, and that's where you can see the potential of winter weather across the board here. Now, I'm going to zoom this out, okay? And we're going to take a look at this from a regional view, okay? And you're going to see the cold air. So there's 1036 millibар high up here in the plains as we get towards first thing Saturday morning, okay? So that's why we're saying there's a lot of cold air that's coming down at this point. Let's take a look at that, actually. Let me see if I can get this up real quickly here. There it is right there. Okay, so there's the amount of cold air coming in. You can see it. Look at all that cold air coming down south. All right. All it takes is a system to take advantage of that cold air moving in, and you get snowfall across Arkansas. Okay, so that's why we're saying the snowfall potential is definitely on the table as we get towards that Friday and Saturday time frame. Winter storm, questionable. Okay, winter weather event, I can't rule it out because of the fact that the system is taking advantage of the cold air moving southward here. Okay, so right now you're not going to see any maps or anything like that. I would say probably tomorrow, if computer model guidance is still on the table for the snowfall event, I'll probably have a first look for you guys first thing tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to look at this. Okay, I know everybody's kind of tired of winter weather and everything like that. Order us some flip-flop weather, please. I think this cold air, speaking of this cold air, okay, so I think this cold air is going to be a quick shot. Okay, it's going to be in on Friday and then out by the time we get towards early next week, because you can see what happens right here. It looks like a donut, right? There's your high pressure ridge right here. So your Arctic high is going to sink southward, and then look what happens by the time we get towards next week. Look at your winds coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, that means your moisture is returning out of the Gulf, your warm air is returning out of the Gulf. Temperatures are going to warm up significantly by the time we get towards the next week. Okay, so I think this is going to be a quick shot. It's just a saying, you know, winter's not done. It's just winter coming back, hitting this thing. It's not done just yet, and then it's going to go away. Okay, because your ridge is going to take over. And I said before, by the time we get towards the middle and especially late part of this month, I cannot rule out an uptick of severe weather, folks. You got to be ready for it. Gulf of Mexico is very, very warm right now, and with these clashes of cold air and warm air, Sunday's not going to be our last severe weather event, folks. We're probably going to be entering a very active spring across the natural state here. So we'll have more information about that. Me and Derek are kind of contributing on a spring outlook, and we'll have that information for you guys whenever we're finished with it, okay? So, Sandra, this is not going to be another ice event, okay? I don't think this is going to be an ice event for Arkansas. The thing is, whenever you're looking for ice, let's take this back a little bit, okay? So, there's your Arctic ridge coming down, okay? Now, this is what I'm saying. Your cold air is going to get here first. Your cold air is rapidly coming in. It's not stalling in northwestern Arkansas or anything like that. Your cold air is rapidly coming in this time. Alright, so that's what you want whenever you're trying to get snowfall across Arkansas. You want this cold air to come in rapid. You don't want it to kind of stall in the Ozark Mountains or anything like that. You want it to come in very, very quickly. That's why I'm saying the potential of snowfall is on the table this time versus ice. Okay, I don't think anyone is going to see the potential of ice. Maybe in North Louisiana, probably far southern Arkansas for sleet potential, but this is more of a snow setup versus a freezing rain setup this time frame, which is good news because I'm with you guys. I'm about tired of dealing with ice too, but this time around I think we're going to have a good amount of cold air filtering south. Let's take a look at something real quick. Your loft temperatures here. So basically, whenever you're looking for ice, you're looking for your 850 to kind of stall out. Look at your 850, by the way. Those are negative temperatures coming in a loft. That's basically, this is a Celsius. You're looking at probably upper teens, low to mid 20s aloft. Okay, that is fully supportive for snowfall versus ice. Okay, look at your 925 as well. Okay, your 925 is going to load up. Same thing. Okay, so you're below freezing all throughout the column. That means that snowfall is falling. It's not melting. You're below freezing at the surface, and it's hitting the ground as snowfall. Okay, so I'm not expecting any sort of big-time ice with this. I think if we see winter weather with this round, it's going to be a primarily snow event for us here in Natchez State, guys. So that's all I got for you guys today. If y'all have any more questions, please let me know. Richie, I saw that. Yeah, the sleet in Hot Springs, basically what happened this morning is you had another piece of energy kind of come through because your cold air was coming in. You had another piece of energy coming through, and you had just a little bit of moisture left to spark up some sleet this morning here. I don't think we had any accumulations this morning, but basically that's what happened. Okay, you had the cold air coming in, you had a little bit of energy, a little bit of moisture left because severe weather took all the moisture away, and that's what sparked up the potential of some sleet this morning across the area here. But that's what happened this morning here. So if you're wondering about why we saw sleet this morning, that's basically what happened here. You had a little bit of energy, you had a little bit of moisture left, you had the cold air coming down, and that's where you got the potential of sleet this morning across the board here. So, Chris said before, accumulations right now, I'm not going to talk about accumulations at this point. It's too early. We're just now getting model agreements here. So I go through a checklist whenever you're trying to forecast winter weather here. The first thing on that checklist is model agreements. We have that, okay? We need that model agreements to continue for the next day or so before we start talking about potential accumulations or potential impacts and stuff like that. But, as I said before, stay with us. We're going to have updates for you guys over the next couple of days. We'll take a look at this, okay? So, this is from the WPC, and we'll take a look at some before I hop off of this live stream here. And I want to see if they are got an area highlighted just yet. I don't think they do, but we're going to have to wait and see here. And, yes, I see that one comment. We've been telling him all day he did a great job yesterday. Okay, so this is new from the WPC. So I'm going to show you guys this real quick. Okay, so it's going to move over. Alright, so this is a little bit eyeballing. Okay, there's now an area highlighted from central Arkansas to northern Arkansas for the potential of accumulating snowfall as we get towards later this week into the early weekend. Okay, there is an area highlighted from the WPC. We'll have to watch this closely as we get towards the next day or so. But they are on board as well. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But, so before, first day of March, we always somehow sneak a snow event here in Arkansas. So we'll keep you guys updated. If you have any more questions, please let me know. Alright, so had sleet and ash down today. Thank you guys for the reports. Okay, I already answered that question about no ice across the board here. Okay, so Anthony, down there in Texarkana, I'm thinking more of a rain snow mix down there because you're going to have, once again, some problems with some warm air coming in, but we'll have to wait and see. All it takes, we've seen this time and time again, cold air is filtering south. If we can get that cold air to filter down further south, I can't rule it out just yet. We could see a first statewide snow event as we get towards Friday and Saturday here. We'll keep an eye on it. Okay, we've seen this time and time again with the last couple of events where the cold air just rapidly came south. It just forced its way south super fast, and computer model guys didn't pick up on it. Okay, we will have to wait and see on all that. But right now, I think North Central Arkansas has the better opportunity for it. I can't rule it out in South Arkansas right now. Okay, or something that we're just going to have to watch and keep you guys informed on down there in Southern Arkansas and much of the natural state as well here. So that's all I got for you guys today. I do appreciate y'all for being here. I wanted to give you guys a severe weather recap, and I want to give you guys a little bit of a insight on your winter weather. We will have your 7-day forecast out this evening. It's going to be a very, very interesting 7-day forecast talking about that Friday and Saturday time frame. We'll keep you guys informed right here in your source for all things Arkansas weather.